It starts with this. And this.
And even this.
Before you know it, he'll take this. This.
This.
And even this. And you can kid yourself all you want, but someday they'll even come after this. Alright guys, so here I'm a nerd again, and this time I have Kevin McCurley and Andy Deitz with me, and they're going to actually voice their opinion on what they think about this snake ban and all these things that are going on with the government right now, trying to take our rights away. So, Kevin, what's up?
Let's see, how can we organize this into a finite set of thoughts? But basically, this is life-changing for all us reptile keepers, and that includes everybody that's keeping zebra danios, which are fish, snails, ornamental fish, birds, exotic mammals, maybe even hamsters and gerbils and whatnot, yet alone a 20-foot Burmese python or whatnot. But the reality is very simple, and this is where it really bothers me, because I'm an animal guy and I love animals and I grew up with animals. And basically, by the passing of such a law, and this is only the tip of the iceberg, we've shown the chink in our armor. So wait until this thing gets going. This is politics. This is bigger than any of us sending a little letter in, oh, I want to keep my snakes or whatever, and we're complaining about science, and they're making decisions not on science. Look at how many different laws exist in the United States now that are so remarkably retarded, but they're still laws in different states. And we're now talking about federal laws that if you were to cross a state line with the Burmese python, it's a Lacey Act violation, which means they can invade your car, they can invade your house, they can take the animal away from you. You know what happens to the animal. The animal dies. But remember this is one little thing. This is politics. This is somebody like Senator Bill Nelson down in Florida and saying, look, I need to do something that's noteworthy, that get people to vote for me and notice me, so I'm going to talk about this plight of the Everglades. We're not going to worry about development and human encroachment and building golf courses, all these things that drain the Everglades. We're going to talk about this remarkable animal that people generally are afraid of anyways, which is snakes. And now we're going to talk about 20-foot snakes eating alligators and all this different stuff. So what's really interesting is they just passed this law, so we lose African rock pythons, both the Python sabae and natalensis. We're also losing yellow anacondas, which no one seems to care about because there's a very limited amount of people that keep them. And we lose Burmese pythons. Burmese pythons is self-explanatory because what is going on in Florida, although it's greatly hyped, it's still an issue. But next week, President Obama goes and meets Senator Bill Nelson. They meet down in the Florida Everglades and they talk about the python ban and how the Department of the Interior has just spearheaded something and they've stopped the problem before it spreads to other different states. So we're hearing all these different things. Do you think it's going to stop? Do you think that boas aren't next on the list? Ball pythons? Ball pythons are going to be better invasive. It's sad that I'm having to say this, but if you want to pick out a better invasive that can go under the radar, small animals do better. Mediterranean geckos. All sorts of minute little animals are much more effective and they'll get much larger populations than the 20-foot snake that crosses the road and everybody sees it and runs it over. So I can really go on, but we need to design something, and it has to be something like so massive. This is just in my little mind, but we need to have like national pet keepers of America or something, and that's people that keep dogs, cats, birds, puppies, fish, snakes, leopard geckos, everybody that realizes the government and HSUS are going to use what we keep, because they don't agree with what we keep, as something that could create a law to get attention, to get votes, to get reelected. So it's way bigger than what we're thinking about our little letters, but we have to get in agreement and we all have to band together, and it's way bigger than PJAC and USR. Although those guys are really working hard, we need to figure out something, and there's got to be a shining star somewhere. We just need to figure it out.
Okay, Andy, now you work a lot here with the larger snakes. I know this is a significant blow to you. I know that every time I come here, you try to get me more interested in your retics and all the stuff that you work with. And even though that's not my thing, I respect it and understand it. And if somebody wants to keep them, I mean, it's their right. I have no issue with that. I mean, I like him. I just don't have the room, and I just don't have that big an interest on it like I do with ball pythons. But I know that you do. You've been working with them for a lot of years and done a lot of world first and all those things with it. And now it seems like obviously retics are going to be next on the list for you. And I mean, how does this all affect you, and what do you think about it?
I mean, it's all just completely horrible. And the thing that really is bugging me right now, I don't keep rock pythons or berms or that stuff. And a lot of people don't, but a lot of people are basically looking at this like we won because they didn't get what we have. And it's completely not true, and it really, really, really is starting to piss me off. We didn't win anything. We had the right to have these, and now we can't have these. That means we lost. We lost this part of it, and they're coming for everything next. They're gonna start and just go up pretty much the ladder of everything. The people paying for this don't want us to have pets. They don't want us to have pets, and that's what people need to realize. Whether it's a goldfish or a leopard gecko or anything, horses, dogs, cats.
The dog that they regard as dangerous, like a pit bull, like a Sheffield Terrier, which make wonderful family pets if trained right and raised right.
And those people don't want us to have these animals, and that's why I think it's really at this point like we have to come together, because basically now they have like a precedent that they can go by, that they can just sneak stuff in on the Lacey Act. And I mean, any of those animals, if you can make numbers look like it should be on that list on the way they did it this time. And that's the real problem here. That's the thing that's really pissing me off. And people say that, me saying that is, not appreciating what was done. We lost. If you look at it like we win, now we really lost, and we will lose everything. There shouldn't be a party. There shouldn't be any, pat on the back. We lost.
So you're saying that even though, what was it, 5 out of the 9 they had in there were quote unquote saved from it. I mean, in reality, actually nothing is saved, because basically those are just next up on the list. Is that what you guys are saying? Is that what you agree upon?
That's what I totally believe, that this is just the easier way to kind of slip into it, and they're going to be coming for the next 5 very, very shortly.
What do you think of that, Kevin?
We have really no economical position as far as, let's say, breeding African rock pythons. I love African rock pythons. I love them as much as I like any other python. Yellow anacondas, we might have a couple, but I have no financial gains. But the loss of yellow anacondas to other people could be John Schmiggity Schmack down the road, that he keeps them. He just lost his right, and that affects me as much as him, because I'm sad that he lost his right. We need to, we can all get emotional, and I'm certainly emotional, and I can get angry and all this stuff like that, but we need to articulate things. And when I look at like the voice of, we're going to call it the Reptile Nation, but whatever, the voice of reptile amphibian keepers, I hear people, I hear like Dave Barker, the Barkers, Trace, all stuff like that. I hear their way that they can articulate things. They have the mind of a scientist, but the passion of reptile keepers. We need to define our voices, and we need to get our poster child, somebody that's charismatic, somebody that's remarkable, but we need to do something else. And to think that we just did a victory, and I'm not doing this to take away all the people, PJAC, USR, that worked your butts off and everything like that, not taking it away, but we are going to lose a bit at a time. There are lobbyists in Washington, instead of doing all boys and just going, we're just going to go all 9 or just boys in general, is more money, and there's more of their job that's going to be in the future is if they get rid of this and they get rid of another little bit more and get rid of another more. Dave Barker defined that they've now put ball pythons on the list. It's sitting right there. I've known for a long time, talking to somebody who's got a line with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, ball pythons have been on it for a long time because they have this paper that they refer to, which is totally phony science, talking about ball pythons can burrow to get away from temperatures that they don't agree with. And it's so remarkable. But everyone, you need to realize it's more than getting pissed and saying they're not going to be able to pry it out of my hands and all that. It's got to be way more defined as far as our intelligence, a collection of effort, and it needs to be just massive. I don't know what it is. I don't know anything. I'm kind of like just kind of floundering around on this because I'm upset. I didn't do nearly my part, I guess, that I should have. But I don't think any of us really can because I don't really know what to do. You could, the first letter signing, we did like 2,200 letters or whatever. And repeating that every single time is really, really hard. But maybe if there was this giant national organization with just a ridiculous amount of people. If you look at, say, like kingsnake.com, and that's ruled by Jeff Barringer, who's, really intelligent guy, and he's got his take on this. They have, roughly 150,000 posters. Of those posters, what's the percentage that actually have done one of these letters? That would be really remarkable. But those people need to gush to their mom and dad, go, Mom, they want to make it so I can't keep this leopard gecko. I can't keep a cricket. I can't do this. Do we really want Big Brother on every single thing that we're doing? And let me tell you this much. Now we get the national thing, the states. The states are going to close in. Well, if our national government is doing it, it's just going to be easier to adopt this giant policy. And what everybody else isn't thinking, which is absolutely ruthless, they're going to make death camps. We'll use the Great Line death camps. When they do boas, do you know how many boas are out there? They're not ready. The resources are not ready there to enforce it. There is so much money in enforcing these laws and restrictions and what they're going to fine us on and what happens. So when they make a boa illegal, they're going to have like places where you turn in your boa to be euthanized. So Humane Society, HSUS, you guys just got your way. You're supposed to be about animals. You are now just basically putting the nail in the coffins of all these poor animals. They're going to die. They're going to get released. There's going to be people that are panicking. It's going to create all sorts of problems. Right now, just yellow anacondas is teeny weeny. Burmese pythons, they're already killing. We already know about that. But, I'm even sad about like the python hunters. When they did that National Geographic thing and they're going around, oh, Burmese python could go under here and it's perfect temperature and all this different stuff. I'm a reptile guy. I like those guys personally, but I don't want to be involved in the hype that's going to make it, I'm hunting for Burmese pythons and all this different stuff. Because now, looking at it, that didn't help us. It hurt us. All this remarkable stuff. We have people within our own camp that maybe aren't always thinking. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy. In fact, I do all sorts of stupid things. But when it comes down to this, I don't want to be like, hey, Kevin did something stupid that whatever. And I have to think back to see if I have done stupid things. But anyways, it's stuff like this isn't good. We have to think beyond, I'm just going to get pissed off and they go, F themselves and all this different kind of stuff. We have to stay aware of this and we have to stay busy. And we need to pool together our resources because there's going to be another wave. But we have to do better than what we've done. And I'll tell you, what we have done so far sucks.
The purpose of this video isn't just to show people that this is a problem for reptile keepers. It's really a problem for anyone who likes animals. And furthermore, it's not even just a problem for people who likes animals. It's a problem for anyone who wants to have their rights preserved as an American. So basically, we would really like for you to share this video with not just your reptile friends, not just your animal lover friends, but anyone who wants their rights not infringed upon, because it is my right to have this animal right here.